Good morning. I'm from St. Mary's College. My name is K. Srinivas. I'm going to teach you today about the subsidiary books. This is taken from this Accountancy 1 Commerce. And before going to the subsidiary books, the topic is subsidiary books. Before going to the subsidiary books, I would like to talk to you about the business transactions. What is business transaction? How many types of business transactions? And what we are supposed to do with these business transactions? First, we are supposed to understand about that. If you are able to understand about the business transactions, you will be able to take the transactions into the proper books. So before entering into the subsidiary books, I would like to talk to you about the business transactions. Here, in the business organization, we are supposed to assume that we are accountants. We are working in the business organization as an accountant. We are all accountants. First basic concept, you should remember that. In the business organization, our proprietor is going to invest the money. For example, assume that Mr. X has invested money, or we can say started business, what we are going to use the word normally. Started business. So here, when we have started business, we are getting cash from the proprietor. Cash is coming in. In the previous topic, you have written cash account data to capital account. Okay. So likewise, after contributing the capital by the proprietor into the business, we are going to deal with so many transactions. No doubt it is also a type of transaction. This is called cash transaction because we are getting cash. I wanted to explain you the differences between all these three: cash, credit and non-cash. First, I am taking here the transaction after contributing by the proprietor into the business. Assume that he has contributed 1 lakh rupees into the business, and we are all accountants. You know that we are maintaining accounts in the business. So here, after taking cash from the proprietor, we are going to buy the goods from so many persons, so many suppliers. For example, assume that we have purchased goods from Mr. A, because what we are doing, we are dealing with the goods. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about the goods and assets later, but let me complete about the types of transactions. So here, when we have purchased goods from Mr. A on cash, we have paid cash and received goods. Goods are coming in, cash is going out. It is called cash transaction. Likewise, exactly opposite, you can take this: sold goods to Mr. B. We sold goods to Mr. B. In the problems, they will give you sold goods to Mr. B. Simply to understand better, you add word we. We sold goods to B on cash. Cash is coming in and goods are going out. It is called cash transaction. Goods sold on cash. We have handed over goods and we have taken cash. So what I mean to tell you, in the cash transaction, first cash is paid or received. Later, next aspect is going to come into the picture. Here I have explained you about purchase, cash purchase and cash sales. When we purchase goods on cash, we have paid and we have received goods. Goods are coming into the business, into the firm. Likewise, here we sold goods to Mr. B. I have taken one example here. We have got so many customers. Try to understand, all of you. We have got so many customers, so many varieties of transactions we have, but now I am talking about the differences between cash transactions, credit transactions, and non-cash transactions. And very soon you will be knowing the importance of all these when we are going into the subsidiary books. Okay, once again. We purchased goods and paid cash. We have received cash and handed over goods. It is called cash transaction. Likewise, in the business organization, we have got so many employees in the business organization. They are going to work. We are going to pay salary. Salary should be paid in cash only. We are going to get the electricity bill every month. We have to pay electricity bill on cash only. Likewise, when we are dealing first with the cash, there are so many things. Purchased machinery is required. Purchased furniture, buy cash. Cash is going out and assets are coming in. These are all called cash transactions. I hope you got the meaning of cash transaction. Cash transaction is very, very simple. In the business organizations, you will see no credit is allowed, which means they are going to deal with only cash. Cash and carry, like that you will be finding, because they don't want to sell their goods on credit. Okay. I hope you got the concept of cash transactions. Next, credit transactions. Exactly opposite. What is credit transaction? Here we are buying goods from Mr. A but not paying the cash immediately. We have taken goods, but we are not paid. We are going to pay after a particular period that depends on the terms and conditions between A and us. We are going to speak about that. That period is called credit period. Once again, I am repeating the same thing here. We have purchased goods from Mr. A but not paid cash. We will pay after a week or after a month, or that depends. That is called a credit transaction. At the same time, we are going to sell goods to our customers, assume that to be sold on credit. Here we have handed over goods but not received cash. We are going to receive that cash after a particular period, exactly opposite to the purchase and sales here. Previously we have purchased goods, we have not paid anything, we are going to pay later. At the same time, we have sold goods to Mr. B and we have not received anything, we are going to receive that. We should assume that. You may be getting the doubt, sir. Here, when we have taken goods from Mr. A, I know that I am not going to pay. Or at the same time, when we are selling goods to Mr. B, I know he is not going to pay. Sorry, we are not going to assume all those things. Everything should be positive. When we are receiving goods from our supplier, we are assuming that we are going to pay compulsorily. There is no doubt about it. We should think that everything should be taken in the positive manner. Okay, so we have taken goods but not paid cash. Here also we have handed over goods but not taken cash. Here we are not paid, here we are not taken. So these transactions are called credit transactions. And we should be able to understand the transaction, given transaction here, whether it is a cash or credit. Whether it is a cash or credit, it is very important. While explaining about the subsidiary books, I will explain you again. But before entering into the subsidiary books, you should know about what is cash transaction, what is credit transaction, and what is non-cash transaction. I hope that you have got the cash transactions and the credit transactions. The last one is non-cash transaction. This is neither cash nor credit. I'll make it very clear about this. This is not cash transaction, at the same time this is not a credit transaction. This is totally different type of transaction. For example, here, assume that we have purchased goods from Mr. A and the articles which we have ordered, we didn't get it. We got some other other articles. In this case, assume that we can't sell these articles in this particular area, but they have sent, and there is no use with those goods. In this case, we have got the right to return those stock. So here, first we have purchased it, they have sent the stock, and next we are returning stock. We are saying that we don't want these goods. We want those goods which we have given order. This particular transaction is called purchase returns. So purchase returns is a non-cash transaction. At the same time, we sold goods to Mr. B, and Mr. B is not ordered for the goods which we have sent. In this case, he is going to return. Sometimes it happens in the classroom when the lecturer says that you buy this particular book. When you go to the shop to buy the book, he says that that book is not available, but I have other book. If you want to take this, if your lecturer says that this is not the correct book, then you come to me, I will take this and I'll give you other book, or I'll do something for that. So he is ready to take that article. So likewise, we sold, maybe because of whatever reason, we are not discussing about the reasons here, we sold our wrong article. When we sold wrong article, then definitely if he is interested, he will keep with him. If he is not interested, he will return that. That is called sales returns. Purchase returns, sales returns will come under non-cash transactions. Apart from these, we have got so many other transactions. I will give you a few transactions. Assume that 2 years back, we have purchased a car, C-A-R, car, purchased for rupees 10 lakhs, just assume that. Here, every year, the value of the car will go down. Assume that we are going to reduce, because the value of the asset, gradual decrease in the value of the asset is called a depreciation. The value is depreciating. Here in general, only one asset value is going to increase in general, that is land. Apart from the land, sometimes even gold also it is going to raise, but it is going to fluctuate. Okay, I'm not talking about all those. I'm talking about the assets in general. The value is going to come down. Again, I'm coming back to this. 2 years back, we have purchased a car for rupees 10 lakhs. Every year, the value is going to come down. Assume that 10%. 10% means first year 1 lakh, second year again 1 lakh, for example. So overall, out of 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs have depreciated. Now the value of the property is here 8 lakhs. We didn't sell. We are calculating the value. The value, written down value is now of that particular car is 8 lakhs. Now my question is here, we have spent rupees 10 lakhs, but now the value of the car is 8 lakhs. The value of the asset has gone down. Whatever amount has come down is called depreciation. So in this depreciation, you can think not only this, you can buy the mobile. When you are going to buy the mobile, you are going to spend rupees 50,000. You can take live examples. It's a live subject. And after 2 years, if you want to sell, you will not get 50,000. You may be getting around 10,000 or 20,000, whatever. But you will not get the value which you have paid. Like that, the value is going to come down, is called depreciation. Depreciation will come under non-cash transaction. At the same time, you take, instead of buying a car for rupees 10 lakhs 2 years back, assume that we have purchased the land in Hyderabad. 10 lakhs we have spent. And now after 2 years, the value of the land definitely it is going to be around, expect 15 lakhs, around 15. So here, we didn't sell. In the case of depreciation also, we didn't sell the property. Now also, we didn't sell the property. Just we are valuing, calculating the value of the asset. So now, here, the value has gone up to 15 lakhs. So 10 lakhs we have spent. Now the value is 15 lakhs. 5 lakhs rupees is called appreciation. Appreciation is also called non-cash transactions. I hope now you got the meaning of business transactions. My intention is that before entering into the subsidiary books, first of all, you should know the basic concepts of the accountancy. Then you are going to enjoy this. Students, the topic which I have taken here, subsidiary books, the minimum weightage is 19 marks. 19 compulsorily. I will show you very clearly. Out of these 4, you will be getting 1 question for 5 marks. And this cash only 10 plus 2. And you will not get these 2 in general. I will give you explanation. And from journal proper, you will get 2 marks. So overall, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 2, 17, 18, 19. 19 marks minimum you are going to get it. My intention is that you should get full marks from this particular topic. I am sure about that. And sometimes not only 19 marks, but also sometimes you will be getting 24 marks. You may be wondering how. They will ask one theory question, right? Types of subsidiary books. Apart from all these are compulsory. Apart from all these, they will give you one theory question for 5 marks. If at all if they are given, the weightage of this particular topic is going to be 24 marks. Overall 100 marks paper, 50 marks theory, 50 marks problem part. In this 50 marks problem part, you are getting around 50% from this topic. So you can understand the importance of this particular topic. Around 50% out of, you are going to write the accountancy for 50 marks for your kind information. Already your lecturers might have explained you, but once again I will tell you that 50% theory part you are going to write, 50% problem part you are going to write. Out of this 50% problem part, 50% is this subsidiary books only. So listen to me very carefully, try to understand every logic. I am explaining everything very slowly. And listen, remember, and get full marks. That is my intention. Okay. So now, apart from this, I would like to talk to you about goods. It is a very important term in accountancy. Goods, articles, commodities, all these are same. Goods, articles, commodities, all these are same. But in general, we are going to speak goods only. Goods. Listen carefully. The articles which we buy to sell. The articles which we are going to buy to sell, those are called goods. The articles which we buy for sale, we are going to sell continuously. So, here we should try to understand, all of you, the difference between goods and assets. No doubt, goods are assets because you can convert into cash, cash can be converted into anything. It is possible. It is a liquid cash, you can sell, you can make it currency immediately, goods. Goods are also assets. But there is a difference between goods and assets. Try to understand, my dear students. You should try to understand the difference between goods and assets. Goods, I already explained you, that is those articles which we buy for a sale. I'll make it very clear. The articles which we buy for sale, those are called goods. All these things we are going to utilize in the books. That's what I mean to tell you. Because of that, I'm explaining all these. Okay. Once again, all goods are assets. Listen carefully and I'll ask you the questions. All goods are assets, but all assets are not goods. Try to understand. Once again, I'll repeat. All goods are assets. All goods are assets, no doubt. But all assets are not goods. I'll explain you in detail. Here, assets we are going to buy not for sale. Goods we are going to buy for sale, exactly opposite. I'll make it little more clear. When we buy furniture for stationery business, we are dealing with the stationery because you are very familiar with the stationery. Because of that, I have taken this example. We are dealing with the stationery, which means we have stationery shop. You know, the stationery books, scales, pencils, all those papers, all pens we are going to sell in this shop. It is called a stationery shop. In the stationery shop, we have purchased furniture, tables for our facility. When we have purchased stationery, stationery is called goods because we are dealing with that. At the same time, when you take furniture, tables or fixtures which we are going to keep all those books into the racks, all those racks are called fixtures. Furniture and fixtures, these are called assets. For the furniture, for the stationery shop, stationery goods, because we are selling continuously, and furniture and fixtures are assets. Likewise, every business organization will have. Assume that we are going to deal with the bikes, motorbikes, scooters, whatever. That is our daily buying and selling continuously. So when we are buying bikes, scooters, whatever, these are called goods. Please try to understand. Majority students will get the doubt about this while preparing the accounts. Because of that, I am giving you n number of examples. We are dealing with the bikes and scooters. Bikes and scooters are our goods because we are buying and selling. For scooters and bikes, for selling, what we have done, we have purchased a building. Building is an asset. For the showroom, building is an asset, bikes and scooters are the goods. It is going to change the term every time. I'll give you one more example. Assume that I'm dealing with the plots, P-L-O-T, plots. I have purchased a very big land and I have made that land into different small plots. And for the plots business, to develop that, I have purchased a car. So, all the plots are the goods for me. The car which I have purchased for the business is an asset. You should try to understand. Likewise, you can take a number of examples like this. Assume that we are dealing with the cars showroom, maybe BMW, Audi, Maruti, whatever. We are buying and selling. All the cars in the showroom are called goods. And for the showroom, cars showroom, if you purchase furniture, if you purchase building, these are assets. So all of you should try to understand the word good is going to change the concept. For me, when I am dealing with the cars, goods car is a good for me article because I am buying and selling. If you purchase that, it's an asset for you. Likewise, I told you, when I am making small plots and selling all the plots are goods for me. If you buy that plot is an asset for you. Likewise, assume that if I am constructing buildings for making apartments, flats and selling, all the flats in the building are goods for me because I am dealing with that. If you buy that, for you, it is not a good, it is an asset for you. Try to understand very carefully. We have no issues in the problem that they will tell you very clearly about to purchase goods, purchase machinery, like that. Have you got my point here? So we should be able to understand. Sometimes what they say, prepare purchase book in the books of stationery company. It's a stationery. So you should be able to understand that we are dealing with the stationery, we are accountant in the stationery shop. So he will give you again in the transactions that we have purchased 5 bundles of the white paper, or he will tell you that purchased 10 dozens of pens, like that. And in this he will give you purchased furniture. So it is going to be different. We are dealing with the stationery. All the stationery items will become goods, but furniture is not going to become. So you should try to understand. I hope you got the meaning of the difference between goods and assets. And one more thing here, before going to the next point, trade discount, I would like to explain you about the accounting cycle. Before this topic, subsidiary books, you might have completed journal, ledger, trial balance. Why I am explaining here, journal is the daily record. All the transactions, first we are going to enter entries into the journal. On the basis of the journal, we will prepare the ledger. On the basis of the ledger, we are going to prepare the trial balance. On the basis of the trial balance, we will prepare the final accounts. Now, my dear students, you should try to understand here. No doubt, it is an accounting cycle. We are going to start from the journal on the basis of the rough business transactions. First, we are going to enter into the journal. From journal, ledger, trial balance, final accounts. We need till here only. After that, we have got so many things, but those are all not in our syllabus. Okay. So now, when this particular accounting cycle is perfect, why subsidiary books? Listen carefully. This particular accounting cycle from journal to the final account, it is suitable for small business organization where the transactions are limited. If the transactions are limited, you can write your entries, you can prepare your ledger, you can transfer to the trial balance, so on. But now, if the organization is very big, assume that every day n number of transactions are taking place in the business. 1,000 transactions, 2,000 transactions, because when you sit in the cash counter in a big organization, you are going to take continuously cash receipts, payments, etc. So for the big business organization, this particular way is not suitable. This is suitable for only small business organizations. Then the next way is that subsidiary books. Till now I have not started anything about the subsidiary books. I am just trying to explain you the concepts. I will go in detail about the subsidiary books also. Before going to that, I am explaining all these. We can prepare the final accounts on the basis of journal, ledger, trial balance and final accounts. At the same time, instead of going for the journal, we can go to the subsidiary books, because where the business organization is big, for that journal is not suitable. We should go for the subsidiary books. From subsidiary books, ledger, trial balance, final accounts. Now, I am entering into my subject, my topic, that is subsidiary books, that is given to me. So here, subsidiary book means subdivision of the books. Just now I spoke to you about this. In a small business organization, journal, ledger, trial balance is suitable. We don't have any problem with that. But if it is a big business organization, that way is not at all suitable. We should go to the subsidiary books, which means the organization is very big. When the organization is very big, then what we are going to do, all the transactions we are dividing into 8 departments, 8 parts. Each department is going to deal with only one particular transactions. I'll make it once again. I said subsidiary books are subdivision of the books. Dividing the transactions, we are dividing into different groups. Like for example, I'll give you the best example. You have to pay the examination fees, or you have to pay the term fees of the college. To take simple example, in this case, your father is going to give you money to you to pay the fees. That fees you will pay in the cash counter. Listen carefully. That fees you will pay in the cash counter, and in return you take a receipt. I'll make it once again. You pay cash in the cash counter and you take receipt, because tomorrow they should not tell you that you have not paid the fees. So what I mean to tell you here, that fees you are not paying to your commerce lecturer, or that fees you are not paying to the principal. That fees is not paying to any other attender. You are paying into the cash department. I hope you got it what I mean to tell you. So likewise, we are going to divide all the transactions into 8 departments. Listen carefully. This explanation is very important. If you listen to me for this explanation, I hope you are going to enjoy the problems. Now I am explaining about the concepts, what are all the things we should do, we should not do. Those things I am telling you, but very soon we will go for the problems. When we go for the problems, solving the problems, you should not get any doubt about any transaction. That is my intention. Because of that, all these things I am explaining. Okay. So once again, I am going for this. That is subsidiary books. Subsidiary books are divided into 8 departments, 8 parts. Each department is going to prepare one particular book. In that, they will take only that particular transaction. Like just now I said, if your father paid the cash to you for exam fees or term fees, you will pay in the cash counter, but you will not pay that cash to the principal or to your commerce lecturer or any other person in the college. Likewise, here what we are doing, all transactions dividing. Anyway, we have got here cash department. Cash department is going to deal with the cash only. They are not going to deal with any other transactions. You know that we have got, once again, I'm telling you, we have got three types of transactions: cash transactions, credit transactions, non-cash transactions. So here we are going to take the cash. We are going to take only cash transactions, because when I have given an example of your fees, cash and all, so I thought that first I will explain you about the cash book. So cash book is prepared by the cash department. Cash department is going to prepare the cash book. They deal with only cash transactions. I hope you got this cash. All the books, subsidiary books, are divided into 8 departments, 8 parts. Because the organization is very big, we want to make the work simple. Because of that, we are doing all these. Okay? Now, next I am going for the purchase book. It is a very simple book, purchase book. In the purchase book, we should take all credit purchase of goods. You should remember this, you can note it down. And for your kind information, in your textbook, page number 70, accountancy, page number 70, in that you can see you have got the types of subsidiary books, and they have given all these. Those only I am explaining you. So in the purchase book, you should take only credit purchase of goods. Then what about cash purchase of goods? Cash purchase should not be taken. And credit purchase of assets also should not be taken. Then what to do? We should take only credit purchase of goods, that's all. Have you got my point? Credit purchase of goods should be taken. Cash purchase of goods, cash purchase of assets should not be taken. Credit purchase of assets should not be taken. Should be taken only credit purchase of goods. Once again, I am telling you, because when you are going to prepare, compulsorily you will be getting for 5 marks. One book, maybe 1 or 2 books, maybe purchase book, purchase returns book, sales returns book. Out of these 4 books, you will get one problem compulsorily every year for 5 marks. If you are able to remember these points which I am explaining now, I am sure you will not lose a single mark. Because of that, again and again, I am trying to explain you. In the purchase book, we should take only credit purchase of goods, that's all. Remaining all should be eliminated. Credit purchase, once again, I'm not telling about cash transactions, credit transactions, non-cash. I'm not talking about all those because I already explained you. Okay? So, in the purchase book, we should take only credit purchase of goods. That's all. Next, purchase returns book. Very simple. I have explained you, when we have purchased goods from our supplier, when we are not happy, we are going to return those goods. When we are returning, those are called purchase returns. So, in the purchase returns department, they are going to prepare the purchase returns book, and they deal with only purchase returns transactions. Other transactions they will not take, like I said, you have to pay the fees. Fees should be paid in the cash counter, like that. They deal with only purchase returns, that's all. If at all, if there is any other transaction, they should go. We don't want. That is not our department. Next, sales book. Here also same thing like purchase book. Purchase book, what is it? Only credit purchase of goods. Here, only credit sale of goods should be taken, that's all. What about other transactions? No entry. What my point here? Like, sir, what all the transactions we will get in the sales book? Very simple, cash sales you will be getting. And here you will be getting credit sale of assets. Should not be taken. We should take only credit sale of goods. Credit sale of goods only should be taken. I have given very clear explanation about goods and assets. In that, definitely in every problem they are going to trouble you. You should be able to understand that properly. Then I am sure you are going to enjoy this. Okay. Cash sales should not be taken. Credit sale of assets should not be taken. Credit sale of goods should be taken. That you should remember. And for your kind information, I said in page number 70, everything is given in your textbook. You can just take it and write it down. Very important. I said you will be getting for 5 marks also for theory. Okay. I hope you got a clear concept of sales book. Only credit sale of goods. No cash sales. No credit sale of assets. No. Only credit sale of goods. Next, sales returns, exactly reverse. What is this? When we sell goods, if the customers are not happy with those goods, then they are going to return. I have explained you already. So when customers are returning goods to us, that is called sales returns. So sales returns, a department is going to deal with only sales return. That's all. They will take the stock and they will enter into their book. Now we are going to enter all these things for your and information I am telling you. Okay. Now I am giving you explanation. After that we are going to do the problems. Okay. So I hope you got purchase book, credit, purchase of goods, purchase returns, the articles which we have returned to our supplier, sales book, the articles which we sold on credit, goods, credit sale of goods in sales book, sales returns book after selling goods. If they are going to return, we are going to take those are sales returns. These are very simple to understand after this total explanation. Next, the cash book. Cash book deals with only cash transactions. In other words, no credit transactions, no non-cash transactions. Cash book deals with only cash transactions. I am going to teach you the total subsidiary books. Actually, subsidiary books, if you see in the textbook, chapter number 4 only. But I am going to teach you even 5 also, because that is also very important. Especially I am talking about 3-column cash book, that you will get it for 10 marks. Because of that I have done 10 marks compulsory problem in any question paper, any year you can see. No problem. So cash book also I am going to teach. I hope you got all these 5 books. Next book is here, bills receivable book. It is very simple. Bills receivable, I am trying to make it very clear. When we sell goods to our customers on credit, in return we will take a document from them for an evidence. Tomorrow they should not tell that you didn't sell, I didn't receive. No need to pay cash. Like that sometimes in the market we are going to listen. So if at all, if he has not paid the document which we have taken from him, on the basis of that, we can go to the court. From court, we can collect that. So because of that, we are taking the evidence. That evidence is called bills receivable. So bills receivable, when we are receiving bills from our customers, those bills will be entered into one book, that is the department. Bills receivable department will take care of bills receivable. They will take only that, that's all. Other than that, other transactions they will not. Sorry, you go. Like that they will tell you. Next, bills payable book. Exactly opposite. When we are buying goods from our suppliers on credit, they may not be having confidence on that we are going to pay. Exactly opposite. Here, we have no confidence about our customers, they are going to pay, because of that we are taking evidence. At the same time, our suppliers also, they may not have confidence on that, on us, that we are going to pay. So when they got the doubt here, in return, they will take the document is called bills payable. We are going to hand over the bills. If at all, if you are not going to pay that, then on the basis of the evidence which we have given to them, to the suppliers, they will go to the court. From court, they are going to collect that money from us. Anyway, here bills receivable book, bills payable book, these are the departments are going to pay, but frankly speaking, you will not find the weightage for these two books here. You will not get, only the thing is, in the theory question, whenever you will be getting write all types of subsidiary books for 5 marks, then you have to write, but you will not have any problem on the basis of bills receivable book and bills payable book. That is only in the theory we are going to explain. Because of that, I have not written marks also here, you can just see. And the last book, that is journal proper. Journal proper is the book in that the transactions which we can't take in all these 7 books. I'm revising the same. The transaction which we can't take in all these 7 books should be taken into the journal proper. You may be getting the doubt, sir, what are those? Very simple. Credit purchase of assets. Here we have taken credit purchase of goods. In the purchase book, we have taken credit purchase of goods. Then credit purchase of asset, where we should take? In the journal proper. Likewise, in the sales book, I said very clearly about we should take only credit sale of goods, but what about credit sale of assets should be taken into the journal proper. At the same time, apart from these, you have got so many other entries like opening entries, closing entries, rectifying entries, adjusting entries, transferring entries, so on. Very simple. You can just remember this. From this, you will be getting only one entry for 2 marks, one entry for 2 marks, that is called opening entry. That is a very simple entry that we have in this particular topic. So that I am going to explain you. Okay, once again, in the journal proper, we should take all the transactions which we cannot take place in these 7. The transactions which we can't enter into these 7 books should be entered into the journal proper. I hope you got it. So the transactions which we can't enter into all these 7 books should be entered into the journal proper. Okay, and before going to the problems, I would like to talk to you about trade discount, because in the problem always you will be facing this trade discount. I already written on the board. Trade discount. Trade discount is the profit for the traders. I will make it very, very, very simple. Here, if you take the business organization, we are going to buy the goods and we are going to sell the goods. So assume that the book, accountancy book I am talking to you, accountancy first year. In this, we are going to buy and we are going to sell. Assume that we are dealing with the stationery. So now when we are buying that article from the supplier, assume that A, the MRP you can check that 95 rupees. The MRP is 95 given in the textbook. 95 rupees they have given. So now it is a stationery shop. In this, we are going to buy the book, these types of books, a number of books we are going to buy and we are going to sell. My question is here, if the MRP is given 95, if we buy that article from the supplier 95, then how can we get the profit if we sell goods to B at the rate of 95? Try to understand the very simple logic. Not only this, you take any article, they will write MRP, maximum retail price, inclusive of all taxes, local taxes, other taxes, etc. When manufacturer has fixed that MRP, so the manufacturer or the distributor should sell that article less than the MRP. Try to understand. Once again, I am taking your textbook. Here, this is 95. We can't buy for 95. We can't sell for 95. So what I mean to tell you, when we are buying this book, we are going to buy this book for rupees only 85. But MRP is 95. We are going to sell this article for rupees 95. So 10 rupees is the trade discount. Trade discount is the profit for the traders. Have you got it now? Trade discount is the profit for the traders, and this, the distributor, the manufacturer, everybody from the beginning except the retailer. Retailer ultimately is going to sell the article. So we are going to use the word here, trade discount is the profit for the traders that is given by the distributor, manufacturer, etc., etc. And at the end, the trader is going to sell that article at on the base of the MRP, which you are getting here, 95. So 95 rupees. So very simple here. Always we are going to calculate everything on the base of the MRP 85. Assume that if you have purchased goods for 10 books, assume that. So 85 into 10, that is equal to 850. 850 rupees we are not going to pay. We are going to subtract how much we are going to pay. 750. 100 rupees is the discount. How 750? Because 10 rupees per book they have given trade discount. So how much is that? 75 rupees we are going to pay. So that is 750. 100 rupees we are going to get the profit. We'll make it very clear. When we buy these from the supplier, we will pay only 75 rupees per book. For 10 books, 750. We sell here, sorry, this is, I have taken 85 is the price, 95 is the price here, 850 rupees we are going to pay, and we are going to sell these books for 950. This is 95 rupees. 850 we will pay, that is purchase price. 950 is the sales price. So 100 rupees we are going to get. 950 minus 850 is equal to 100 rupees. We are going to get the profit. So ultimately what I mean to tell you, trade discount should be subtracted from maximum retail price. Okay, here we have got calculation little different, but no problem. Originally the price is 95, 10 books 950 rupees. 950 rupees is the MRP, and we have got 10 rupees directly. They have given trade discount, so we are going to pay only 85. 85 into 10 is equal to 850, and this is 950 rupees. We will get for sales. We will pay 850. We will get it. We will receive by sales 950. So overall 100 rupees we are going to get the cost. 100 rupees is called trade discount. Okay. So now I'll start doing the problems. I have explained you all these things very perfectly, and if at all if you got any doubt, you can just check with your textbook. Page number also I have given, page number 70. In the previous problem, I have explained you only the purchase book, but in this problem, I would like to explain you both purchase book and the purchase returns book both. Sometimes in the exam, they will give you both the books. 100% I can tell you that in the exam, they will not give you all the 4 books. Purchase returns, sales returns, they will not give you. In general, they will give you only one book, purchase book. Sometimes they will give you purchase book and purchase returns. Sometimes only sales, sometimes sales book and sales returns, like that. So anyway, I am explaining here both purchase book and purchase returns, both how we are going to. Same concept is the same. We have no issues. We don't have any problem. And for your information, I have written here the page number is 111. Question number is 5, and enter the following transactions in the purchase book and purchase returns book. Both are ready. Purchase book and purchase returns both are ready. In this, we are going to use the debit note number instead of invoice number, because when we buy the goods from the supplier, we are going to return those goods. We are debiting the supplier's account. Because of that, we are using the debit note number. That's all. And for your kind information, we are not going to do anything with this. If at all, if you want, you can write the numbers 1, 2, 3, or you can use here or in invoice price, invoice number also. And sometimes in the problem, they are going to mention the invoice number, then you have to take as it is. Otherwise, you can just leave it. The pro forma, you have to take it. Okay. Now, the transaction is here. 1st August 2018, purchased goods from Krishna. From the beginning, I am explaining about the types of transactions. Cash transactions, credit transactions, and non-cash transactions. So here, purchased goods from Krishna. No information about cash. At the same time, no information about credit also. So if there is no information about cash or credit, but information about the person is given, we should assume that it is a credit transaction. Purchased goods from Krishna should be taken into the account. We have to. Okay. So here, 1st August 18, Krishna, amount should be taken in the amount column 6,000. That's all. Very simple. If you are able to concentrate few minutes, you are going to enjoy this. At the same time, you will get the marks. No need to struggle. Only the thing is, you should try to understand the logic here. That's all. Next. Goods purchased from Malaysia. Same story. There is no difference between the first transaction and second transaction. Goods purchased from Malaysia. No information about anything. So when Malaysia is given, for example, assume that goods purchased they are given, they are not given from Malaysia, then it is going to become a cash transaction and should not be taken here. That should be taken into the cash book. But here, goods purchased from Malaysia is given. Because of that, it is a credit transaction, should be taken into the purchase book. So directly the date is 4th August 18. That is Malaysia 3,500. Next, returned goods to Krishna. It is a non-cash transaction. We have returned goods. We have returned goods to Krishna. Previously, we have purchased goods from Krishna. So in this, we should take purchase returns book. This transaction should be taken into the purchase returns book in the name of Krishna. The date is here 8th August and Krishna is rupees 600. That's all. It is very, very simple comparatively the other books. Next, bought goods from Naveen. You should try to understand the logic, because in the exam sometimes they give you different things like purchased machinery from Naveen, they will give you. Machinery should not be taken. You should be very careful with this. Anyway, bought goods, goods given here, bought goods from Naveen. So it is a credit purchase of goods and should be taken into the account that is in the book. This is 13th August. Naveen, rupees 2,000. Next, the next transaction is 16th. Goods returned to Malaysia. We have returned goods. When we have returned goods, then we have to take it into the purchase returns book, because previously we have purchased goods from Malaysia. Now we are returning, so it should be taken in the purchase returns book. Malaysia date is 16th. Directly you can take rupees 400. And the last transaction, purchased goods from Ravi. We have purchased goods from Ravi. Again, same story here. Credit purchase of goods from Ravi should be taken into the purchase book. The date is 22nd August. Ravi, rupees 4,000. We have completed all the transactions. Now we have to take the totals, that's all. I hope you got the concept. For your information, I will just once in a while I will go with this. Purchase goods from Krishna. We have taken the purchase book Krishna. Goods purchased from Malaysia, taken in the purchase book. Returned goods to Krishna, purchase returns, that should be taken in the purchase returns book taken. Bought goods from Naveen, that is purchase book, rupees 2,000. Goods returned to Malaysia, that we have to take in the purchase returns book. The last one, purchase goods from Ravi, taken in the purchase book. Now everything is completed. We have to take the totals, that's all. For both, here this is 15,500 and this is 1,000 rupees. If you want, you can write here total, no issues. That's all. This is problem number 5. Okay. Next, I will go for the sales book. 250 katteta sir. Yes, now I am going to explain you about sales book. In the next problem, I will explain you about sales book and the sales returns book. But now in this case, because I wanted to explain you separately. Purchase book, that is over, purchase returns, that is also over. Next I came to the sales book. In the sales book we should take only credit sale of goods and we should ignore all other transactions. From the beginning I am explaining the same thing. So now anyway, for your information, I have written the problem here. This is question number 7, page number 112 from your Telugu Academy book. And now we are entering into the problem. The first transaction is here. Sold goods to Sampath. You should try to understand whether it is a cash transaction or credit transaction. No information about cash, no information about credit, but information sold goods. We sold goods. We sold goods to Sampath. That's all. Which means it is a credit. We sold, but we are not received. If at all, if you have received cash, then it should give you that sold goods to Sampath and received cash. So here that information is missing, but information about the person is there. So you should try to understand it is a credit transaction, credit sale of goods. Because of that, we are going to take Sampath. The date is 2019. This is February 1st. Sampath 2,250, and after that there is no trade discount at all. For next transaction, sold goods to Manohar. Same story, sold goods to Manohar. On credit we should take this, that is February 6th. Manohar, rupees 2,000. Students, you should try to understand. It is a very simple book, but you should be careful, little careful, that's all. Next, very good. Now we got next transaction, cash sales. Cash sales, where this transaction should go in the subsidiary books. You can collect from the beginning 8 types of subsidiary books I told you. Out of all those 8 books, this cash sales goes to cash book. Now we are not preparing that. So we should not take this transaction here. What we required now? We required only the credit sale of goods, that's all. So this cash sales should be ignored. That you should be very careful. If at all, if you have taken this transaction into the book, then ultimately you are going to lose your marks. You should. It is a very simple. All these are very simple things, but you should be very careful. That's all. Because definitely in every problem they will give you few transactions which you are supposed to neglect, which you are supposed to omit, which you are supposed to leave. If you are able to remember these, then definitely you are going to get full marks. Okay? So this transaction we are going to omit here. We are not going to take this. This should go to the, you know that is cash book. And very soon we will go for the cash book also. But now we are neglecting this transaction. And next we have got here sold goods to Murali. Very good. Now we got sold goods to Murali. No information about cash, no information about credit. Information about the person is given. So it is a credit transaction. It should be taken into the sales book, no doubt. But the thing is here, you got the trade discount. So trade discount should be subtracted. From the beginning I am telling you that trade discount should be subtracted from the MRP. MRP is what? Maximum retail price. From that we have to subtract. So here 5,000 into 5%, you have to calculate 5,000 into 5%, that is 250 rupees. 250 rupees should be subtracted. So students, here February 16, that is morally. This we should take it in the details column. 5,000 less trade discount. Trade discount 5%, that is 250. For your information, I am writing here with the red pen. So the total amount is 4,750. Next, have you got it or not? Sold goods to morally trade discount 5%. We have subtracted trade discount and we have taken into the outer column. Next, goods sold to Shankar on credit. Very good. In the problem itself, we said that on credit. We want credit transactions only. We don't want cash transactions or non-cash here. So now, sold goods sold to Shankar on credit. Directly we can take it. We have no issues here. So this is February 20th. Shankar rupees 2,500, and the total is now 11,500. This is the total of this sales book. Once again, sold goods to Sampath, credit transaction taken into the book. Sold goods to Manohar, taken into the book, credit transaction. Cash sales should not be taken here. Sold goods to Murali should be taken with the trade discount, and sold goods to Shankar should be taken into the sales book. That's all. And now we will go for the next book, that is sales returns book along with the sales book. Okay, now problem number 10 from your Telugu Academy textbook, page number 113. Once again, I would like to talk to you about what exactly today we are doing. We are mainly concentrating on 4 books: purchase book, purchase return, sales returns. Till now, I have explained you about the purchase book, purchase returns, sales book, sales returns. Sales returns, now I am going to explain. I have explained you about purchase book, purchase returns, and also sales. I have explained you. Now we are going for the sales returns book also. I wanted to explain you here, if at all in the problem, in the exam, if they give you question to prepare both sales book and the sales returns, then we have to take the pro forma here. Date, particulars, invoice number, LF, details, amount, and in the case of sales returns book, here we should take it credit note number, LF rupees, date, particulars. Okay. Problem is here. I hope you don't have any problem with the pro forma. Pro forma is very simple, nothing to do, only we have to show the columns, that's all. Mainly we are going to use the date column, particulars column, amount column. Sometimes for the trade discount we are going to use the details column, otherwise no need. For invoice number, bill number, we have to take, if at all if they are given, we have to take, or else you can take it 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, anything is okay. Now the transaction is here. from the given problem, we have to prepare sales book and sales returns book. So now, first transaction is here. Sold goods to Satyam. Credit sales we want. Credit sale of goods we want to take into the sales book. So here, credit the sale because sold goods to Satyam, no information about cash, which means it is a credit transaction. This transaction should be taken into the sales book directly. We have no issues. Okay? Credit sales. Date is 2018 September 1. Satyam 2500. That's all. Likewise, the next transaction is here. Sold goods to Ajay. Same story. Sold goods to Ajay. Credit sales. Ajay should be taken. This is 5th September. Ajay. Rupees 7,200. Likewise, sold goods to Varun. Same story. We sold goods to Varun on credit. Should be taken 7th. Varun 2,800. Next. Satyam returned goods. Satyam returned. We sold previously. Now he has returned. It is very simple. It should be taken in the sales returns book. Already we have got the pro forma here. Sales returns book Satyam. Here 2018 September. Date is 10th. Satyam rupees 300. You have got one small correction here. In the textbook he has given, you can see that in the textbook he has given Satya. You can check this if you want. 10th transaction. Satya he has given, but you should make it Satyam. Okay? Next transaction is here. Sold goods to Akhila. We sold goods to Akhila on credit. Should be taken into the sales book. 14th Akhila. Rupees 4,000. And after that, return inward from Varun. We sold goods on 7th. On 16th, returned from Varun. It is a sales returns. Simply we can take it in the sales returns book. The date is 16th. Varun rupees 200. Next. Sold goods to Karthik for cash. Sold goods to Karthik for cash. We should try to understand here. For cash transaction should be eliminated here. Cash transaction should be taken in the cash book. Okay. So this transaction should be eliminated from this. No doubt this transaction should be taken. That is in the cash book. Cash book deals with all cash transactions. So anyway, we are neglecting now. We have taken all the transactions. Now we have to take the totals of all these, $16,500. $16,500. Okay. Anyway, now I am explaining all these once again. Sold goods to Satyam 2,500. Sold goods to Ajay rupees 7,200. Sold goods to Varun rupees 2,800. Satyam returned goods sales returns in the sales returns book. Satyam rupees 300. Next, sold goods to Akila should be taken in the sales book. Akila rupees 4,000. Next, return inwards from Varun should be taken in the sales returns book. Varun rupees 200. And goods sold to Karthik for cash transaction should not be taken here. Because of that we have neglected. So now the total is here 16,500 for sales book, and the sales returns book is 500. Okay, I have explained you all these: purchase book, purchase returns book, sales returns book, everything. Now we are supposed to go to the next book. That book is cash book. And before going to the cash book, I will explain you the opening entry. That is very simple. And what I meant to tell you, I have solved the problems which you are supposed to understand. After completing these, you are supposed to do the remaining problems. I make it very clear. After completing my problems, which I have explained you in this session, apart from these, you are supposed to do the other problems you take for homework, and I'm 100% sure that you are going to get all those problems with my explanation. So with this, I'm going to stop explanation about purchase book, purchase returns book, sales book, and sales returns book. And after this, I will speak to you about the opening entry, and I'll speak to you about the cash book, and opening entry and cash book, and I do my best. Okay, bye.